Okay guys, Jared here with the Flowstate
and Michelle.
And we are actually today doing our reviews. Now the thing we did today is we actually reviewed two bikes, so it's two separate videos. So we are reviewing these two bikes. This intro will be on one, we're gonna do a separate intro on the other. So we're gonna call this, for the Fat Bob 2019 Harley Davidson Fat Bob, is this review. So we're gonna start with Michelle's perspective and we will catch you soon.
What's up, guys? I'm about to hop on the 2019 Fat Bob. It's a pretty freaking cool bike, I'm not gonna lie. It's really different from what I'm normally used to. I normally ride sport bikes, whereas this one has everything's really different, like the forward controls, this drag bar, just the position, the seat. It has like this lumbar support, which is really cool. I really like that about the bike. It makes it a comfortable ride. But the forward controls are pretty cool because I get to extend my legs out when I ride. It's just good for long distance riding because I'm stretching out my legs, whereas on my sport bike, I'm normally more in a crouched position. I personally don't mind that, but I could feel the difference when I do ride this bike. It has this really cool 212 exhaust system. It's pretty big personally for me, but I guess it makes it look cool. And it also has this really interesting looking LED front headlight, which I think complements the bike quite nicely, actually. Like the style of it makes it look really badass. Another really cool thing about this bike, it's got a keyless entry, so the keys are actually in my pocket right now. Let me take them out so you can see. These are the keys. And it's a keyless entry, so you just have to remember not to misplace the keys. But in any case, if you do misplace the keys, they created this thing where you can pretty much make like a unique code for the bike and press different buttons like the turn signals and to actually start up the bike. And each bike is going to be different based on what you program. One thing I don't like about the bike right off the bat is I'm not a big fan of the kickstand, to be honest. For me, it's just, I've had issues putting it down and up because I have to lean the bike all the way over, and it's a bit uncomfortable for me to lean it all the way over to this side because I feel like I'm going to drop it and it's just so heavy. So it's around, I have to double check later, but it's over 600 pounds. So the kickstand, it's really long and I have to just lean the bike over to the right side extra just to make it go down. Because, granted, it could also be because sometimes the pavement is slightly slanted. Like even right now, it's kind of straight and I'm trying to put the kickstand down and it still gets stuck and I have to lean it over a little bit more and then lean it down. All right, let's fire her up. So the thing about this bike is that most bikes, my R6 actually doesn't need to be a neutral, but this bike needs to be a neutral for it to start up. Thank you. Let's hit the road. Start her up. I can already tell that this bike has a lot of power. It has that Milwaukee 114 engine and it's nice. Brakes are really, really responsive. Another thing that I had to get used to are these turn signals because there's a turn signal on each side of the handlebars. I'm not used to that. I'm used to the turn signals everything just being on the left side. Whereas now I have to if I want to turn right, I have to press the right side of the handlebar, which is weird. It's not the end of the world. It's just another one of those things where I just have to, it's like muscle memory. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but it wasn't so bad. And what's cool is they have this auto tip sensor where the turn signals will turn off once it realizes that you've made your lane change, which is pretty cool. And if for any reason they haven't turned off, you can just press it again and they'll turn off. Just press the turn signal twice. It's fairly simple to put gas in this bike. You just twist it open. All right. I'm gonna fill up this tank because I'm taking her for a long ride tomorrow.
All right, so here we go. We are about to jump on this Fat Bob here. Wow, does this bike feels so much different than the FXDR that I was just riding. Like, incredibly different. So much more narrow. Still the same front controls. Now this has a little bit more of like the drag racing inspired handlebars, you know, that I was talking about earlier, the V-Rod to this. But this bike has a very different just feel altogether. Even just sitting on it, I'm so much more upright. I'm so much closer to the handlebars. It feels more like, I don't know, this to me feels like it would be a better daily commuter. It feels like something that's a little bit more, you're a little more aware, you're a little more on top of the bike in traffic. So all those things. And I've ridden this bike a couple times since we got it, and I do like it. I'm not gonna lie, it's not as much my style as the FXDR, if I'm being honest. But for this one, you know, we've got a nice, oh, there you go, clean sound. I really like these 2019 models. Like, they did a good job, and the engines just feel nice. Now this bike is so much shorter. Even though it's shorter though, this bike is more dense, meaning it is just heavier. It's probably about 15-20 pounds heavier than that bike, which I find a little difficult to believe, not because I don't believe it, but only because I don't feel it. It still feels so much easier to control. It's very easy to lean. This bike leans into turns so much simpler than the FXDR. I've already scraped that pedal a couple times just because it doesn't take much. Oh, driving in California. It is always an adventure. Okay, now this bike is way more torquey, way more sensitive than the FXDR I was just on. It's just got so much more grab quickly, and you got to be a little more sensitive on the clutch. Now, I'm not a big fan of the design here. I like the dashboard more up here, and right now it's down here. I don't like the little RPM gauge being over a digital display. It just kind of seems, I don't know, slightly pointless in my opinion. I do like a lot of the improvements, and Harley is doing a good job of trying to keep up with the tech. You know, the tech differences in bike. They've got the live wire coming out later this year. You know, there's a lot of companies coming out with the electric bikes. Now, this bike, something I'm noticing very quickly is it gets really, really hot really fast. And you can see down here, like, there's not a lot of coverage here. There's not a lot of, like, it's just coming, this heat is coming straight off the engine, and it just, like it's even through my gloves, it's pretty hot to the touch. So something, and one of those other little things to be aware of, especially if you're in a town where you can't split traffic and you can't, like, you know, cool off in the breeze. You're gonna be just standing a lot, and you've got that heat coming up on you, you know, mixing that with the hot summer day. And there is absolutely no windshield here to be taking off that wind, and I'm actually, you know, kind of wrestling with the wind right now. Like, it's pretty rough. Well, something to pay attention to, guys, that if you are riding on one of these bikes, it's not going to be very comfortable for long distance rides. So if you're going high speeds on the highway, touring long distance, you're going to waste a lot of energy fighting the wind. So just should be aware of that. You know what? I think we're going to stop at Moto Club. Okay. Get these short little highways. Now this bike is relatively close to the same engine specifications. This bike is a little bit heavier than the FXDR, but they are very, very similar in specs as far as engine specs goes. And realistically, they have a lot of the same technology perks too. So that is something to kind of just be conscious of. Like, they're gonna feel and handle differently, but you know, underneath they are the same beautiful Harley beasts that you come to expect. It's been a while since we've been to Moto Club, and Moto Club is, I mean, it's really one of our homes. Like, they do so much. Victor here at Moto Club is really phenomenal. He has worked on our bikes. He has, you know, we've done track days with him. He really is just an awesome guy. Takes care of us so well, and we appreciate that. Takes care of our bikes. Guillaume, the mechanic there, he's a really close friend of ours, someone we trust very much. And we're watching my shell pull a 180 on that bike. Hope you guys can see this. She's got to work. It's a big bike. That's what I was talking about earlier about she can ride. Like, I have seen this girl handle everything. In fact, I know that she has handled an Africa Twin before as we drive right past one. She really is a beast. Look at her on that. FXDR! Guys, if you are in Santa Monica at all, if you're anywhere in Los Angeles, you need to bring your bikes to Moto Club. Check some stuff out here, get some work done. They mainly are an Aprilia dealer, but they have a lot of stuff here, a lot of used bikes too. Like I said earlier, very cool place, and somewhere we like being. Oh, Victor already left? Oh, okay. I just figured it'd be fun to stop by. This is Guillaume. He works on our bikes.
For one reason and one reason only.
And Guillaume is awesome, and he's
such a sweetheart. This bike is definitely a lot more easy to split than that FXDR. Even though technically this one's called the Fat Bob. Doesn't feel fatter. And they're very stable, like even going at very low speeds. I think this, you know, the wider tire base like really does a lot for balance, and I really feel there's a lot of grip on the tires when going through turns and things like that. So yes, I saw a lot of reviews on the Fat Bob and the FXDR kind of through the back roads and like open spaces. So I guess this one could be all about riding them through traffic and just as a daily commuter and splitting lanes. It's definitely a whole different, tight, it's tight. It's a completely different animal and style of riding. Yeah, see, this is why the power is incredibly useful in these situations, because when I need to just power out of it, I'm able to easily. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed our reviews for today. Hope you enjoyed our review. Hope it was informative. Let us know in the comments what else you want to know about the bikes. I mean, this is kind of my first time riding and reviewing a Harley, which is cool because, again, like I'm used to riding sport bikes and things like that. But anyway, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and really appreciate your input.
If you saw the Fat Bob, check out the review on the FXDR, which is sitting right behind us. Like I said, we did them together, so let us know your thoughts on both. Catch you soon, guys.